Welcome back to another amazing class. Today, Rabotai, we really have a class, Rabotai, that will really blow our minds away. Because at the end of the day, or better yet, at the end of the class, when we're going to see what does it mean to learn Torah, we'll see towards the end what the Zohar Kodesh says about every single word of Torah that is being said. It's going to be very hard not to learn Torah. One of the most famous questions that people like to ask: how does one sit and learn Torah? How do you push yourself to learn Torah? Very simple, Rabotai. If you knew the great importance of learning Torah, the great reward of learning Torah, understanding what you are accumulating through learning Torah, it would be very hard not to learn Torah. When we learn Torah, we make Hashem very happy. It brings nachat, ruach, liyotzro. We bring nachat to Hashem. So how can you tell me I can't learn Torah? Rabotai, it's not that you cannot. Maybe you don't want to. But you can if you want to. We mischannel our desires to the wrong places. Each and every Jew has a fire within him that burns, but we use that fire for the wrong things. Instead of using that fire to serve Hashem, to learn His Torah, to do His mitzvot, Rabotai, we use it for everything else. Rabotai, I've seen it this past year especially with the NBA Finals, when the Knicks were playing every single game, and then eventually when they won, Rabotai, people sent me videos. I've seen videos how people were going nuts for the fact that the Knicks won, which is a very big milestone. I'm not going to take that away from them. But Rabotai, if you could be so excited for a Knicks game, why can't you be excited for Torah? You can, it's just you don't want to. You have it in you. You just got to be able to apply it. All right, we'll see this towards the end, but I titled today's lecture, Not Everyone Has the Merit to Learn Torah. Not everyone, Rabotai. You have a few people that are trillionaires, a little bit more that are billionaires, a little bit more that are millionaires. But then, Rabotai, you have everyone else that's in the lower bracket. What happened, Rabotai? From few billion people, you only have a few people that are trillionaires, some a little bit more that are billionaires, and a little bit more that are millionaires, and everybody else is in the other brackets. How's that possible? Very simple, Rabotai. You have to have merit in order to be a trillionaire, a billionaire, or even a millionaire. Why am I saying this, Rabotai? Learning Torah is in that 1 percentile. I wish it's 1 percentile. I hope it's 1 percentile, which I think it's even less. When it comes to learning Torah, no, it's not even 1 percentile. It's less than 1 percentile. You are in the 0.0001 percentile that has the zechut to learn Torah. Understand, not every single person has the merit to learn Torah. Can do it. The question is, how bad do you want it? The answer is, Rabotai, we don't want it bad enough. How many of us ever finished one Seder of Mishnayot? How many of us finished one full chapter of Bereshit with Rashi? How many of us finished one Masechet? How many of us finished one Siman in the Shulchan Aruch? Rabotai, you can answer for yourselves. I'm not speaking about that, you're just listening and stam and that's it, you get it over with and you're done with the day. Now, I'm not speaking about that type of learning. That type of learning, you have a lot, Baruch Hashem. I'm speaking about learning where you are exerting yourself, you're breaking your head, trying to understand what the Torah wants to teach you. That type of learning, Rabotai, how many of you ever took a project upon yourself to begin and to actually finish it? Very few, Rabotai, very few people do it. Do you know why? Not every single person has the merit to learn Torah. We get distracted, we get sidetracked, Baruch Hashem, with everything but Torah. Everything occupies our attention except Torah. That's what, Rabotai, in my humble opinion. Again, you don't have to listen to what I say, but this right now is in my humble opinion. The Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, found a way how to destroy the people without destroying them physically. Hitler tried to destroy us physically. Haman tried to kill us. Paro tried to go ahead and destroy us. Rabotai, the Spanish Inquisition, Hamas, Yimach Shemo, they tried to do on October 7th. You have people, Rabotai, that are out there to destroy us physically. But it doesn't work because the Jewish people are here forever. So what's going on? So what's going on now? So the Yetzer Hara came out with a different weapon, which is called the web. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, I know, whatever they might have or more. Why am I saying this? Those things occupy our time from learning Torah. It doesn't allow us to learn Torah. It doesn't. Today we have all different types of entertainment. I remember, Rabotai, when I was younger, about 25 years ago, 20 years ago, when they had movies. I don't know how people still watch movies today, knowing that it's all fake, it's all green effect. It's not even real. So why in the world would you want to watch it? But Rabotai, put that aside. Today you have other types of entertainment. One of the most famous entertainments today became the podcast business, which is fine, Rabotai, I'm not against it. But how much Torah is being learned when you're listening to everybody else's podcast? Instead of opening up the Shulchan Aruch, instead of opening up the Gemara, you're sitting there and you're listening to what people have to say about their lives. That is another way that the evil inclination is destroying us today. It's occupying our time. I used to say before it was the yeshvo. When people would go in the restaurant, they would sit for hours every single night, kill their time. But Rabotai, the Yetzer Hara renews with the generation. It renews itself. Maybe it's still the yeshua. Maybe it's all the parties that people have at night, which is normal. People have to have parties. But you have to make time to learn Torah. You got to make up those hours. But today, Rabotai, there's more entertainment than ever before. And a lot of people are swallowed in that entertainment. Why is that? They know it's wrong. They know it doesn't give them that geschmack in life. They know it doesn't give them life. So why do we still do it? Because the Rabotai comes down to this one sentence. We don't understand what nachat, what pleasure we bring to Hashem when we learn Torah. If you and I only knew by every single word of Torah that we learn what pleasure we bring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you wouldn't stop learning Torah. You wouldn't have time to converse with people shtuyot. Listen, if it's for work, you gotta talk, you gotta work, no problem. But when you're not working, You with your wife, fine. You with your kids, fine. But when you're not with your wife, when you're not with your kids, what are you doing? If the answer is, Rabbi, I'm wasting my time, that's a very big problem. Why don't you take out a book and learn for those few minutes? Try it. Rabotai, one thing for sure, your life will change. Guaranteed your life will change. The second you stop watching all of these shorts and reels and podcasts and shmatcasts, Rabotai, your life will change. You have to understand, people have emotions, people have feelings. How could it be, Rabotai, listen how scary this is. How could it be, in 1 minute you hear good news, another minute you hear something bad happen, another minute you hear something depressing happened, another minute you feel something exciting happened. Rabotai, every single moment your emotions are being played with by what you're watching. It makes you feel good. This what you just watched makes you feel good. But the next thing that you watch makes you feel like garbage. The next thing that you watch makes you feel good. So Rabotai, they're playing with your emotion. Then you wonder, why don't you have a healthy body? Why don't you have a healthy mindset? Very simple. They're playing with your mindset, Rabotai. I went to St. John's for marketing. This is the best way to market. Whatever the eyes these people want, the bottom line, Rabotai, you have to advertise what people want to see. This is what sells. And now, Rabotai, I'm being very nice right now. I'm speaking about entertainment, all this garbage and everything else. I don't want to get into the obvious of what Chas v'Shalom people really do watch, which is worse than this, what I'm speaking about, which is, Chas v'Shalom, nude ladies and all this, who knows what they watch. That, Rabotai, is beyond my scope. Chas v'Shalom, Rabotai, to speak about that, to even try to go ahead and understand that a person can Chas v'Shalom go and waste his time on that. Rabotai, just to even fathom it. We need to understand. We have to know that there is nothing more important in this world for Hashem than learning Torah. Nothing comes close to it. Yeah, you might tell me, Kiruv, bringing Jews closer, which is not a problem. I do agree. But in the realm, when you're learning Torah right now, there's nothing, Rabotai, that makes Hashem more happier. Nothing. They say learning Torah is more than Hatzalat Nefashot, than saving people's life. Rabotai, we have to look at Torah as one of the most precious commodities out there. But that's not how it works today. We look at everything else that it's important. Torah, Chas v'Shalom, Rabotai, comes secondary to everything else. That's why it's hard for us to wake up in the morning. That's why it's hard for us to learn Torah. That's why it's hard for us to serve Hashem. Because it's not on our list. It's not at the top of the list. How many of us, Rabotai, right now in the summer days, how many of us took upon ourselves a project to finish a Gemara, to finish a book, Mishlei, Halakha, something? How many, Rabotai? Again, I'll say very few. But how many of us, all we are thinking about is vacations, pleasures, shish kebab, girls, music, entertainment, parties? How many of us? A lot. That's a very big problem, Rabotai. Our values are upside down. Then we wonder why we don't want to learn Torah. Then we wonder why we can't learn Torah. Do you know why you can't? Do you know why you don't want to? Very simple, Rabotai. In order to be able to want to learn Torah, in order to be able to have the merit to learn Torah, your want has to be bigger in Torah than anything else. You want to learn Torah. You have to be so hungry for Torah that when I tell you, you have to stop learning Torah because you have to go do something else, like daven mincha or shacharit or aravit or help your parents. It has to bother you enough to say, I don't want to go because I really want to learn Torah. If we haven't reached that stage, Rabotai, you could understand why everything else is important and Torah is secondary. Because everywhere else we have a greater want. People fly out to games. People fly out to vacations. People waste money in casinos because they have a very big want. So they're going to go there and they're going to satisfy it. Try to stop these people. They're not going to listen to you. Go ahead and try to stop them. They're not going to listen to you. They're going to do whatever they want. Why? Because the want is there. You must have a big want in order to be able to have zuchut to learn Torah. When you show Hashem you have that want, Rabotai, you're going to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to help you. He's going to allow you, Rabotai, to open His Torah and let it penetrate into your heart. Okay, wow, that was a very long introduction. So let's begin today's Chofetz Chaim and Mishlei. Says the Chofetz Chaim, יש עלינו להתחזק בעניין לימוד סדר הקדושים. It is placed on us to strengthen ourselves in regards to learning the Seder HaKadoshim. Now, Rabotai, what is Seder HaKadoshim? Let's go look it up together. I want people to know what we're speaking about. We have Mishnayot, correct? So when we go to the Mishnayot section, as you guys can see over here, you have Zeraim, Moed, Nashim, Nezikin, Kodashim, Taharot. So basically, Shisha Shidra Mishnah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, when I press on the Kodashim, in the Kodashim itself, you have over there Zevachim, Menachot, basically it speaks about Korbanot, sacrifices, Chulin, Bechorot, Arachin, Timura, Kiritot, Mi'lat Tamid, Midot, and Kinim. Now all this, if you have, this is what you have in the Seder of the Kedoshim. We have Shisha Sidrei Mishnah. One of them is Kedoshim. Now, let's go back to our Chofetz Chaim. He says over here, Yesh aleinu litchazek be'inin limud Seder HaKodoshim. It is placed on us to strengthen ourselves in regards to learning the Seder HaKodoshim, what I just showed you. Why, Rabotai? Listen to this. כי ידוע שצריך אדם לבקש ידיעת התורה כמנהג האנשים, because it is known. People need to seek the knowledge of Torah like the ways of people. Where? בבקשת הכסף וחיפוש המטמונים. When it comes to seeking out silver and searching treasures. People run after it, Rabotai. Why? For what? Be poor, lo aleinu. Why do you have to make money? Because you know you need it. Because you know you want it. That is exactly the same way we have to run after the knowledge of Torah. You have to understand that without Torah, Rabotai, there is no life. Show me one person, Rabotai. I'm not even telling you two. Don't waste your time. Show me, Rabotai, one person that does not have Torah in his life and he's happy. I'll show you he's a faker. Rabotai, there's no such a thing in the world. He might look happy. He might look excited. He might have all the fancy things. He might have all the women in the world. He might travel the world. Doesn't mean anything. Shlomo HaMelech alav Hashalom already said, Hakol havel chavalim, hakol havel. Everything is vanity of vanities. Everything is vanity. Everything is garbage, Rabotai. And we waste our time on it. Continues the Chofetz Chaim and he says, just like people seek silver and treasures, that's how we have to seek the knowledge of Torah. וכמו שאמר הכתוב במשלי פרק ב', אם תבקשנה ככסף, if you're going to seek it like silver, וכמטמונים תחפשנה, and you're going to search it like jewelry or treasures, right? Meaning if you're going to go after Hashem's ways, after His Torah, like people go after silver and treasures, Az tavin yirat Hashem. Only then are you going to understand the fear of Hashem. V'dat Elokim timtzan. You're going to find the knowledge of Hashem. When, Rabotai, when you start looking at Torah, just like you look at money. Just like you look at money. Tell today a person not to go to work any given day. Not a Sunday. Any given day when he has to be at work. Tell him not to go to work. I want to see what he's going to tell you. Tell these women today that want their husbands to be with them at home at 8:30 when they're supposed to be learning Torah. Tell these women that tomorrow morning when they have to be at work 10 o'clock not to go to work for 1 hour. I want to see what's going to happen, Rabotai. Do this a few times, she's going to be fired. And how can you keep your husband at home? Are you out of your mind? Your husband's Torah is what's going to give you the resurrection of the dead. Without him, you're done. Why in the world is he home? Doesn't make sense, Rabotai. Does not register by me. Continues the Chofetz Chaim and he says, "Ube'inel bakashat hakesef anu ro'im." When it comes in regards to searching for silver, we see she'im yishma shenimtza'a medina chadasha she'afara afarot za'av. You know, if a person is going to hear that there was a certain city, a new city which was found, where the dust, its dust is gold, like a gold mine. Umatzui shama avanim tovot umargiliot, and you found over there, and over there is found great stones and pearls. Av shehi rechoka min hayishuv, even though it's very far from where you live. V'tzarich lasum nafsho bekapan, you need to place your soul in your hands, meaning you need to sacrifice your life. Lavor orchot yamim, to go ahead and go on this journey. Ad bo shama, until you're going to come there. Bechol zod Rabotai, with all this, knowing Rabotai, that is far away, it's a very far journey. Your life could be at risk. With all this, Rabotai, bevadai yimtzu harbe anashim, for sure you're going to find many people. Shizarzu et atzmam linso shama, that they're gonna hasten themselves to travel there, v'lihiyot min harishonim, and to be from the first ones. Rabotai, why? Ki yadua asher harishonim shekadmu lavo shama, because there is known that the earlier ones, the first ones that are going to come there, mitashrim bizman mu'at be'osharav, they're going to become rich in a very small amount of time with great wealth. Rabotai, listen to what the Chofetz Chaim is saying. Tell me, you're in this world forever? You believe that we are here a short few years? 70, maybe 80? Or you think you're going to live to 400 years? What do you guys think? Huh? Rabotai, I don't know how old you are. But, let's be honest. Let's be straightforward. Let's speak man to man. If you are above 30, and the average lifespan is 60. Rabotai, just stick with me there for a second. That means half of your life is out the window. You got another 30 years to go. What have you accomplished up to now? What Torah do you have in your hands? Let's say, Rabotai, the average lifespan is 80. And you are 40. Half of your life is out the window. You have another 40 years to go. Rabotai, I'm being nice. But Rabotai, chas v'sham lo in, Rabotai, nobody knows when he's going to go. Let's say, Rabotai, a person can go at the age of 60 or 70. And now he's 60. What he got? 10 more years? If he's lucky. Or he thinks he has another 50 years, 120. What does he think he has? Rabotai, we make a grave mistake thinking we are in this world forever. We run after all the stupid things that we forget Hashem. I'm not telling you, Rabotai, not to live. People have to live, people have to work, people have to dress up. You have to be presentable. But don't make it the primary goal. That is secondary to Torah. Torah is primary. So Rabotai, being the fact that we are in this world for a few short years, we're temporary here. Rabotai, we see people die day in, day out. We should all have arichas yamin. But the emes is, we're not here forever. If you are a chacham, if you are a wise person, Rabotai, pay attention to what the Chofetz Chaim is saying. Make an inference. Ki yadua asher harishonim shekadmu lavo shama. Because there is known the first ones, the earlier ones that are going to proceed by coming there to the city where they're going to be able to collect all the jewels. Mitashrim bizman muad be'osherav. They're able to become very wealthy in a very small period of time. Same thing with us. Rabotai, we come from the nishamot. We come from the olamot of the neshamot. We come from the world of souls. We come into this world for a very few short years. By the way, Rabotai, once you start reaching 50, 60, you see that life flies. You're going to start understanding, wow, really, it's only a few short years. That being said, the people, the earlier ones, the smarter ones, Rabotai, that take their life into their hands and make the correct decisions and going after learning Torah, they're going to be able to acquire a mass of wealth of eternity because of their Torah in a very short amount of time. Rabotai, understand this fact. We came down over here to accumulate wealth of mitzvot Torah. Avodat Hashem. We did not come to this world for everything but that. And that is the problem today. We don't see this. We see everything but this. My wife wants to go to vacation. My wife wants to go to the beach. My wife wants to go to this party. My wife wants to wear this. My wife wants to do this. My wife. The whole world became about his wife. He said to Rabotai, take care of your wife. I want to see in the end where your Olam Haba is going to be. I honestly want to see. If you have no Torah, Rabotai, I don't care how much you're going to honor your wife. I'm not telling you not to honor your wife. You have to honor your wife. This is common sense. I spoke about this before. I don't want to get into this right now. You must honor your wife. But not on the account of your learning Torah and doing mitzvot. It doesn't work like that. If she wants you to go against Hashem, it doesn't work. There's no such thing as Shalom Bayit to go against Hashem just because my wife wants. It's baloney, Rabotai. It doesn't exist, never existed. Rabotai, do what the Shulchan Aruch says in Even Hazer. It says over that if you have a woman who goes in the streets with her hair uncovered, or she dresses in a very immodest way, I shouldn't have said very. If she dresses in an immodest way, not like the Jewish girls are supposed to dress, Rabotai, the Shulchan Aruch says, is placed on the husband, if he wants. There is a mitzvah to divorce such a woman. There is a mitzvah, Rabotai, to divorce such a woman. And what do we think? No, Shalom Bayit. The rabbi said, go to the pool, go to the pool. Go to the beach, go to the beach. Go to the club with my wife, go to the club with my wife. What an idiot. What an idiot. I don't know what kind of rabbi this is. You and him are going to probably be in the same Gehenom, Rabotai. What nonsense? What nonsense is this? What rabbi is going to tell you it's okay? You know which rabbi? The rabbi that doesn't want Shulchan Aruch. He's going to tell you common sense. Common sense, Rabotai. You have any idea what these rabbis are saying? You have any idea how they're going to be punished for what they're saying, Rabotai? All right, let's continue, Rabotai. Bottom line over here is, says the Chofetz Chaim, we see this people that are going to go far away, even though they have to sacrifice their life and it's a long journey together, but they know that if they're going to be the first ones, they're going to become very rich in a short amount of period of time. Rabotai, we're going to see so too when it comes to learning our Torah. But Rabotai, I want to just mention as the side point, like I said earlier, use your time wisely in this world. Use your time wisely in this world. The time is going to come so fast that you're going to be in the grave and you're going to look back and you're going to think to yourself, why didn't I use my time properly? You're going to regret, Rabotai. That in itself is going to be Gehenom. That in itself is a person's real Gehenom. Know what you could have accumulated and you didn't accumulate. Don't waste that precious time, Rabotai. Time is one thing that's not going to come back to you. Continues the Chofetz Chaim and he says, so too it's in regards to learning our holy Torah. Hagam she'afilu b'shar sedarim Asher yad hakol mishamshim bahem. Even though in other seders of the Mishnayot, where everybody learns them, mikol makom, nevertheless, matzui bechol et osei tzitzim uperechim laTorah. You find that every moment that people are making chidushim for the Torah. Kemo shamar Chazal ala katuv, like the rabbis of blessed memory said on the verse, dadecha yerevavucha bechol et. Your breasts are satisfying at every moment. What does that mean, Rabotai? Lamanim shalah Torah. To what was the Torah compared to? Ledad. To a woman's breast. Why? Explains the Chofetz Chaim. Madad zeh. It's a clear Gemara, by the way. Just like this breast of a woman. Kol zman shatinok b'mashmesh bo. Every single time that the child is suckling on it, it's nursing from it, motzeh botam, is able to find flavor, taste in the mother's breast. Av divrei Torah ken. So too when it comes to words of Torah. Every single time when you're learning Torah, Rabotai, you're able to find sweetness in the Torah. Ki be'emet, because in truth, en kesel lechochmoto. There's no end, Rabotai, to the wisdom of Torah. It's unlimited, it's vast. Mikol makom, nevertheless, he says, אין מצוי כל כך למצוא בו דבר חידוש אשר לא הקדימו חכמי ישראל האחרים לפנים. רבותיי, nevertheless, he says, you're not going to be able to find so much of a novelty that the earlier rabbis of blessed memory have already found in them, that now you're going to come and you're going to say, oh, I found something new. You're not going to find so much of a chidush in these other chamisha, sidrei mishnah, in the other orders of the Mishnah, like we said in the earlier of the class, in the beginning. You're not going to find over there a lot of chidushim where the earlier rabbis that preceded us, that they already did not say it. They already said it. So what you're saying now is not really chidush. However, he says, but which wouldn't be the case in this order, meaning in the order of the Kodoshim. Not many people have trampled it. Meaning not many people have learned Seder Kodoshim. Says the Chofetz Chaim, matzui bo avanim tovot. You are able to find in it good stones, umar giliot, and pearls, bechol ever upina, in every side and in every corner. V'yadu mad isa bezor. Now, Rabotai, here we go. Before we begin the Zohar, and this is what I really want to focus on, this is what I said in the beginning of the class. If we only understood what Hashem gets out of learning Torah, what Hashem gets out of us from learning Torah, it would be very hard for us to separate from Torah. We're going to see it right now. But before I continue to the Zohar Kodesh, let me just say outside what the Chofetz Chaim just stated. Chofetz Chaim is saying that when it comes to the Shisha Shidrei Mishnah, like we saw before, the Seder Kedoshim, over there you are able to always make many Chidushim, which wouldn't be the case by the other Chamisha Sedarim, by the other 5 orders. Why? Because over there, Rabotai, you had rabbis prior to us that made Chidushim because a lot of people learned it. Again, you can make it, but not as much. But in Seder Kedoshim, since not a lot of people learn it, there over there you're able to go ahead and you're able to make a lot of novelties. Now, why is this important to know? Now says the Chofetz Chaim, V'yadu ma de'isa b'Zohar Kodesh, and there is known what is written, what is spoken about in the Zohar Kodesh. Here we go, Rabotai, here we go. Maybe I should highlight it. Here. Godel schar shel mitchadesh chidushay Torah. Great is the reward of one who is michadesh chidushay Torah, one who makes new Torah, meaning novelties to Torah. V'zeh loshon. This is the language of Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon opened up in his class, in his discourse, in Yeshaya in Nun Aleph, and he says it like this: Va'asim davarai bipicha, and I'm going to place my words into your mouth. Kama itle lebarnash, how much it is placed upon a person. Leishtada'ala be'oraita. Rabotai, listen to this. To toil in Torah, yemama ve'leila, day and night. Why? Rabotai, why? Begin the kutshe birichut tziyat lekelehon the inun the mitaske bo'oraita. Rabotai, I gotta highlight this. Rabotai, write this, put this by your bedside, I don't care where. Listen to this. Why is it so important that a person has to learn Torah day and night? Begin because the Kudsha Birichu, the Holy One, blessed be He, Tzayid lekelohon. He listens, Rabotai. He listens. The inu, the mitaski bo'oraita, to those people that toil in Torah. Rabotai, can you imagine what power we have when we learn Torah, Rabotai? Can you imagine by us right now learning Torah? By us learning Torah, Rabotai, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is listening. Gemara Maseh Berachot, in the beginning of Maseh Berachot, says Hashem comes down and He blesses the person that sits and learns Torah, even by himself. Rabotai, do we understand what it means to learn Torah? What is the zechut you have to learn Torah? You're entering the king's palace. Or better yet, like it says, Rabotai, that the Torah is more dear than even the inner of the inners. What does that mean? We know there's such a thing as Yom Kippur. We know that the Kohen Gadol goes into the Kodesh Kedoshim on Yom Kippur. Rabotai, our rabbis of blessed memory said that learning Torah, the words of Torah, are more important than the day that the Kohen Gadol enters into the Kodesh Kedoshim on Yom Kippur. We have any idea, Rabotai, what Torah is? When you know this, that when you learn Torah, Hashem listens to you. Tell me, why am I not learning? Why aren't we learning Torah, Rabotai? Why are we doing everything else? And then when we need help, we come to Hashem. Hashem, help me. Hashem, help me. Hashem, help me. Rabotai, you want Hashem to help you? Start first helping yourselves. It doesn't work, Rabotai. I don't want to say too much, Rabotai. Only if you guys would have ever seen the way Rabbi Walken taught us what it means to learn Torah, what it means to daven to Hashem, what it means, Rabotai, to understand how Hashem, Rabotai, He acts with the people. You know, it's very different than what you and I hear. It says clearly, Rabotai, in the Maseh Berachot, anybody who does the will of Hashem, Hashem sees to it that other people are going to take care of His will. But if you don't do the will of Hashem, Hashem sees to it that you're going to have to go in and you're going to have to take care of everything yourself. Not like we see today, Rabotai, oh, you down to Hashem and that's it. Rabotai, it's not so posh, it's not so simple. Rabotai, a person's tefillah, it's halakha also in the Shulchan Aruch, and it's a clear Gemara. B'ezrat Hashem, in the house of Torah, when I do these halachot that we do over there daily, believe that we're going to get to these halachot, B'ezrat Hashem. That if a person doesn't learn Torah, his tefillah does not go up, Rabotai. Rabotai, if a person does not learn Torah, his tefillah does not go up. If we start comparing and contrasting what people's opinions are and what the Torah requires of us, Rabotai, two different worlds. We have to listen to Hashem's Torah, not people, Rabotai, that give me his ideas, his opinions, his emotions, her emotions, this emotion, that. Rabotai, I'm not interested in what you have to say. I'm interested in what the Torah has to teach me. Teach me Torah, I will listen to you. Teach me what you want to teach me, I will not listen to you. We're not Mormons, Rabotai. We're not other religions where every single person is coming up and making their own cult. It doesn't work like that. Says the Chofetz Chaim, bringing down the Zohar Kodesh, that every single person is placed on him to learn Torah, to toil in Torah, day and night. Why, Rabotai? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu listens to the people that sit and toil in Torah. Again, Rabotai, those that know when I teach this Torah, again, the mit'aski bo'oraita. It doesn't say to learn. It says to toil. It has to be toiling. If there's no toiling, Rabotai, learn, continue learning, but try to reach this level of oisik. Continues the Chofetz Chaim and it says, "V'chol mila di'itchadash be'oraita al yedad de'ahud ishtada be'oraita avid riki echada." And every single word that is new in the Torah, that is made from that person that is toiling in the Torah, for every new novelty that you say, you make a rikiyah, You make a heaven, a new heaven in Shamayim. Can you imagine, Rabotai? V'chol milan, every single word. You have any idea about if you learn Torah and you're able to mitchadesh, that's what he says. Learn Sefer Kedoshim. Learn the Seder Kedoshim. V'chol milad itchadash ba'oraita. And every single word that a person is going to be able to make a novelty from Hashem's Torah. Ayidad through that person, the ishtadal ba'oraita that was toiling in Torah, avid rikiya hada. He's making one heaven in Shamayim, in heaven. Says the Chofetz Chaim, with continuing on what Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai is saying, Tanah was taught in the Mishnah, Behahi Shaita, Rabotai, at that moment, the Mila, the Oraita, the Itchadashat Mifume, the Barnash, Hahi, Rabotai, at that moment when that word of Torah, which was renewed, which was a novelty, which came out from the mouth of that person, Hahi Mila Salka, that word goes up, that new word, that chiddush that you made in the Torah goes up. And it stands before Hashem. Wow! And Hashem takes that word, and he kisses it. And he crowns it. He crowns that word with 70 carved out crowns. In the word itself, Rabotah, in one word of Chiddush, in the one word of novelty that you have made, Hashem takes that word, He kisses that word, and He crowns it by carving out into that word 70 crowns. Now you tell me, Rabotah, if it's important to learn Torah or not. Do you understand why it's important to be oisik? When you toil in Torah, you're able to make new novelties, chidushim. Learn one thing from another. Maybe it's this, maybe like this. When you break your head and something new comes out from it, Rabotai, Hashem takes that new teaching of yours, kisses it, crowns it, and He carves out 70 crowns into that one word, into that one chidush that you just said. Rabotai, look how beautiful Torah is. Rabotai, have a great day. Baruch Adonai L'olam. Amen ve'amen.